In this video, we're going to have a look at multiplying and dividing negative numbers. For example, we might look at the problem such as 5 multiplied by negative 3. If we think about what that means, that technically means 5 lots of negative 3. And if we think about that, well, if I were to draw negative 3, there's 1 lot of it, there's 2 lots of it, 3 lots, 4 lots, and 5 lots. So we can hopefully see that 5 lots of negative 3 is negative 15. So I can maybe write that fact down. 5 multiplied by negative 3 is negative 15. Let's work at the side here and just see if we can generalise some other things. Let's say, for example, 2 times 10 is 20. Using this fact, what else can I say? Well, I can say that 10 times 2 is 20. I could use this fact and say some stuff about division. I could say that 20 divided by 10 is 2, and 20 divided by 2 is 10. Hopefully we'll be able to see all of these facts have derived from this first fact right here. So let's see if I could write some other facts about this problem here. Well, I could maybe write negative 3 times 5 is 15, or sorry, negative 15. Or I could write negative 15 divided by 5 is negative 3. Or I could write negative 15 divided by negative 3 is 5. Once again, I've just derived this from this first bit of information here. We know that the model of multiplication isn't important, and then if we've got this first fact here, we can use the associated division facts. But hopefully we'll be able to see something that we can generalise here. Do you notice here that when I've got a positive multiplied by a negative, the answer was negative? Or a negative multiplied by a positive, the answer was negative? Or in this case here, a negative divided by a positive is negative, a negative divided by a positive, or sorry, here we've got a negative divided by a negative, which is positive. There's different little facts here that we need to know and be able to use quickly at our hands, but what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and summarise it in this table here. Okay, so we're going to do the first number multiplied by the second number. Let's have a look in this grid here. This part here corresponds to when the first number is positive and the second number is positive. For example, 5 times 2. 5 times 2 is 10, but importantly, that's a positive number. In here, in this grid here, I'll do it in a different colour. In this one here, we have a positive multiplied by a negative, and a positive multiplied by a negative is negative. And this one down here, we have got, I'll do this colour, we've got a positive multiplying a negative. A positive multiplying by a negative is negative. And finally, a negative divided by a negative. Well, here we have a negative divided by a negative, which gave us a positive. Okay, so we can apply that there, that a negative and a negative, when we multiply or divide, will give us a positive value. Okay, that holds for multiplication and division. Okay, when the signs are the same when we multiply and divide, the answer is positive. When the signs are different, the answer is negative. We'll look through maybe 4 or 5 examples just to try and exemplify this. Okay, so what I say to my pupils is, if the signs are the same, it's positive. That's when we're dealing with two numbers. When it's different signs is negative. Okay, that's only for multiplying and dividing. For example, let's do this one here. Negative 8 divided by 2. Let's have a look at this. Here, hopefully you can spot that we have got different signs. I've got a negative and a positive. So if the signs are different, my answer is going to be negative. Then we're going to do 8 divided by 2, which is 4. So my answer is negative 4. Let's do another one. Negative 5 multiplied by negative 3. So here I'm looking at my signs. I've got a negative times a negative. The signs are the same, so I know it's going to be positive. 5 threes are 15. Let's do another one. Let's do negative 20 divided by negative 5. Let's have a look. So I'm looking here, the signs are the same. If the signs are the same, it's going to be positive. So it's going to be positive, and I'm going to do 20 divided by 5, which is 4. Do you notice how we're generally working through this? We look at the signs first, then we deal with the numbers. Let's do another one. Let's do 16 times negative 10. Okay, let's have a look at this. The signs are, well, this is positive, this is negative. The signs are different. Okay, so my answer is going to be negative. 16 times 10 is 160. So my answer is negative 160. Okay, so we need to be able to deal with this in multiple different ways with both multiplication and division. Okay, if the signs are the same, for example, here and here, we get a positive answer. If the signs are different, for example, here and here, our answer will be negative. We might need to adapt it slightly if we had 3 numbers. For example, let's do negative 5 times negative 3 times negative 2. Do you see here that there are 3 numbers? So see, if we wanted to multiply this, it would make sense to do this part first. We'll multiply this by this, then multiply it by this at the end. Okay, so let's do that. Negative 5 times negative 3. That's a negative times a negative, so that's positive. That's going to be 15. And I'm timesing that by negative 2. 15 times negative 2, that's going to be negative. It's going to be negative 30. Okay, so this idea up here, if the signs are the same, it's positive. If the signs are different, it's negative. That only happens if there are 2 numbers and only if we are multiplying and dividing. Okay, so we can use this rule when we're multiplying 2 numbers or dividing 2 numbers. Hopefully that was helpful. Thank you very much.